Hey, Dr. Song here from Omni Aesthetics. Today is March 24th, 2020, and this is our first week of being completely shut down because we're doing our part to help stop the spread of this virus, of the coronavirus. What I wanted to talk to you about today was this whole concept of social distancing and flattening the curve and why it is important and why we're doing this, even though this is obviously taking a huge toll on our business as well as for most of you. What I wanted to do right now was to help explain to you exactly what we're doing, what you're doing, why what you're doing right now is making a difference and how it's going to help. It's going to help change the trajectory of this disease. By now, I'm sure you've seen this curve and heard about flattening the curve. So just to review, this red area here on the left is what would happen if we didn't do anything. The infection rate and people getting severely ill would happen so quickly and in such huge numbers in the beginning of this pandemic that it would overwhelm our healthcare system, and we would not have enough ventilators and doctors and hospitals to take care of all these people, leading to total chaos. And we've seen that. We've seen that happen in Italy, and they're about 10 days ahead of us. So that is why we're trying to prevent that from happening to us. And the green curve is what happens if we take measures to slow down the spread, to contain it. And basically, the number of people getting sick may not be different, but over time, the number of people getting sick will be spread out so that it will not overwhelm the capacity, and hopefully we will find good treatments and even possible a vaccine to stop the spread of this disease. That's why we're trying to slow it down. The point I want to drive home today is that what every one of us, what each one of us does, actually does make a difference. And in order for this to work, we all have to participate. And here's why. Human beings are a social species. We like to conglomerate together, we like to socialize, we like to party together, we like to get together for drinks, we hug each other, we kiss each other, we hold hands, we shake hands, and this is just part of normal activity. And yes, we pass diseases and viruses between us and get each other sick. So what's the difference now with this virus? The difference is that this virus is new, and because it's so new, none of us have an immunity to it. So when this virus infects a population, it will spread like wildfires in California. And until it manifests symptoms, it is largely invisible in the population. So we don't know who has it until they actually get sick. And by that time, they've already infected other people, and we don't know who they are. The red figure in this diagram is somebody who's showing symptoms. That person is visible, so we can treat them, we can isolate them. But the green figures are the people who have been exposed and infected that are not yet showing symptoms. So how do we isolate these people before they infect others? The ideal way that we could have handled this situation was if we were properly prepared. When we first started hearing about this infection occurring overseas, we should have anticipated that it will come here, and we should have been looking out for anybody who was symptomatic. We should have started to quarantine them and their immediate contacts immediately. We should have been screening people coming in through the borders, through the airports and otherwise, and make sure that they were not infected and quarantine them before letting them into the country. But unfortunately, that ship has sailed. So what can we do now? Well, right now we are doing exactly what we need to do under the circumstances. We're self-isolating. We are staying in small groups, family groups, avoiding interaction with others, and staying out of social situations where you could either catch or spread the disease. So, if somebody has the infection, they will only spread it within their own small group. And if you don't have the infection, you're unlikely to catch it as long as you maintain that social distance. Now, we have to stay isolated for at least 2 weeks before the symptoms start to show, because remember, it's invisible right now. But if we stay isolated for a couple of weeks, then as people start to show signs of sickness, we can tighten up that isolation within that group, within the group of people that have been exposed to that sick person. And then we still have to wait. We have to wait to make sure that each group is clear before we can let everybody intermingle again. Eventually, the invisibly infected, the green figures in this diagram, will have some of the people in their group turn red, which means they'll be showing symptoms. As soon as that happens, we'll be able to identify the clusters that are infected. And after giving enough time, these people will all recover, hopefully, and very few people will actually get very sick or die. But once they recover, the rest of the population has not been infected, so the infection rate among the population will dramatically go down. It will be almost impossible to eradicate the virus from our population completely. But if we can bring those numbers down, then we can start managing it the way we should have right from the beginning and only isolate the people who are sick and the people around them instead of having to isolate the whole population. So this is our chance to do a do-over, but it will only work if we all do our part. And we cannot end this isolation prematurely. If we end it before all the infected are identified, everything that we've done, all the sacrifices we've made so far will have been for nothing because we will be right back where we started. So we have to hunker down and we have to all participate and we have to do our part because we are here, we're doing it together, and we are going to get through it. This is Dr. Song. Thanks for listening. Be safe, and I'll see you real soon.